Welcome to the pop-up crop. I am here with Kim Spellman from Mom's Creative Moments. I
Yeah,
hope I got that right.
you got that right.
All right. We've had a couple more technical difficulties this morning, but we're on and we're live and we're going to be showing off some projects for National Scrapbook Day 2023. And Kim is going to start us off by talking about some special papers we have available. And then I'll jump in and show you a fun project you can do. Here we go. Are you ready, Kim?
I'm ready.
Okay. Here
Hi,
we are.
everyone. Sorry, my camera is still kind of goofy today. We worked really hard to try to make it work, and it was working yesterday. If you watched my channel, then you saw that I did a live last night, which went flawlessly. But this morning is another day, and of course, it didn't want to work today. So I just wanted to share with you some fun ideas for things you can do with what you're going to get when you purchase your National Scrapbook Day customer bundle. So these are 3 of the items that you get along with the National Scrapbook Day kit, which you're used to getting, and the little mini embellishment pack that we get usually with our National Scrapbook Day or Croptoberfest things. This year in your customer bundle, you also get a packet of cardstock, you get an additional packet of designer pages, and you get a laser bundle, which comes with these really cool borders, which are double-sided, and it comes with some fun additional frames and this multi-photo frame. And I know that sometimes we look at these elements and kind of don't know what to do with them. And so I just thought it would be fun to show you a fun way to use this multifaceted frame and some of the other elements to make a companion page and make something really fun.
That's
So let me
great.
share with you. First, we're going to, what you're going to need to do this layout is the multifaceted frame. So this one, that's what I call it. I don't know if that's what CM calls it, but that's what I call it, because you can use these little blocks to put, a journal box. You can use it to house an embellishment. You can put a photo. If you have photos that will fit even in these small squares, you can put a photo there. I tend to use the smaller squares for embellishments, but it just depends on your needs.
Well, Kim,
And,
I've never used one before either, so I'm learning today too.
well, this we're also going to pull out the what looks like a sunflower edge, this frame right here, and we're going to use a portion of this.
So pretty.
And this one you can save to use another day. And these are beautiful borders that when you look at the front here, you can see both sides of these, and it's nice because you either have the lemons like you can see here, or if you flip it over, you have limes, which is kind of fun. So yeah, just neat borders that you can use in different ways, but we're not going to use the borders today. We're going to use these 2 elements. We're going to use 2 pages from the accessory paper pack, and you can choose whichever 2 you prefer. But in my finished pieces, I chose, let me show you here. So you've got this beautiful one with all the lemons and limes on it, which is really, really pretty. But I chose to just pull these 2 pages, the one with this kind of teal wallpaper background and the one with the suns on the back. And if you watch my channel, I know you've heard me say many times that I am a matchy-matchy kind of person. I don't necessarily like to have my backgrounds on my 2-page spread be different, but this is the one instance where I have to say I ended up going with 2 different backgrounds.
Oh, wow.
And here's why. Let me show you the finished pieces.
Okay.
And then I think you'll agree with me that it was needed. Because this frame has kind of a greenish teal color, I wanted something to complement it. So the green that we have in the frame is reflected in the background on this page, and the frames that I made for this page are reflective of the yellow on this page.
So pretty. Oh, Kim, you
Yes.
should hold up the frame and show that they're double-sided with the color, so that way you can
Yeah,
pick which color you want.
So this side has kind of more teals and greens and some like even a light bluish color. This side is more of a dark green. They introduce more of a kind of a hunter green in here with some darker teal blue. Can you see the difference?
Flip it over again.
Two sides. So this is the matching side.
Okay.
Let's see. It would go like this.
Yes.
Okay, but if we flip it over, it's a darker color.
Yes, we can see it now.
Yeah. And so because I will likely use this in my Hawaii album that I've been putting together, I wanted something that was a little more tropical. So I went with the kind of the more teal, lighter version.
Very nice.
Than the darker. But you can choose whichever one works better for you. And both of them complement this blue pretty well. So I don't think it will change the way the layout works if you use the darker side.
Okay.
And then in your packet of cardstock, you get a variety of colors. And one of the colors you get is canary yellow. And so that's the color that I chose to use for the mats on this page. Right. So I'm going to give you the measurements, and we're going to put together another version of this.
And all right. Let's do it.
We're going to get started. So I have my own pack of canary yellow here that I'm going to open instead of opening my sampler pack. I don't know why but I just like leaving that until I'm all done with everything.
Right.
No worries. If I already have the cardstock. So, so these two are our bases. I'm going to just set them aside for a second while we I'm going to grab my trimmer. Sorry. We're going to cut some pieces to be the outline of these frames. All right. This is going to go very, very quickly. So we're going to cut one strip at 4.5. All right. And then we're going to turn that strip and we're going to cut it at 6.5. Or you can cut it at 5.5, but I'm going to cut it at 6.5. It's going to give me a 5.5 and a 6.5 piece. And that's what we need. We need both of those pieces. Then we're going to cut another one at 4.5. And we're going to turn this one and cut this one at, let me just double check my measurements here. 4.5. We need this one at 6.5 also.
I love that. We can put big pictures on our pages.
Yes, definitely. And then we need one at 3 inches. So 4.5 by 3 inches. And then this last one ends up being 3 by 3.5. So you've got depending on how your trimmer has trimmed, mine is just a hair over 3 inches. I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to worry about trimming off that little extra, almost 1/8 of an inch. Okay. So I'm just going to turn this and cut it at 3.5. And that's our last piece. This is just extra. Okay. And this piece right here is also extra. So tossing that over there. All right. Then what we need to do, you'll need your scissors to trim that when it's time to, in just a minute. We are not going to use the trimmer for that. So you're done with your trimmer. I'm going to grab, so first of all, we need to take our frame and we need to decide which direction we want it. Now I chose to use mine in this direction because I wanted the eye movement to flow across my page like this. And
Nice.
can you see how you have built-in embellishments with the frame, the way they've cut the laser leaves into this frame?
Yes.
You've got kind of a built-in flow. So, so depending on how you turn this frame is going to determine how you lay out the frame on the other side. But I'm going to show you how to lay it out just like this so that it matches this one. And then you can turn your page however you want it and decide, you know, how you want to lay out your embellishments. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
All right. So I'm going to lay these two over here, and we're going to build the yellow frame on our green page first. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to overlap these pieces. And by overlapping these pieces, we're able to fit the mat that we need to go around our photos and and still keep our margins looking nice and see that pretty blue underneath, etc. So we're going to just overlap it by about 1/4 of an inch. And I'm putting this about 3/8 of an inch from the edge. Each of these are the larger two, the 4.5 by 6.5 pieces. And they're roughly 3/8 of an inch from the edge. This one is more like closer to an inch from the edge. And it actually, now that I'm looking at the way I did this one moves over a bit more. So it's more like 1.5 inches. Let's see. I can measure it. I've got it right here.
Okay.
So if you're wanting to do it exactly, I would do 1 3/8 from this edge for that mat, and then this one is just about 3/8 of an inch from the left edge.
All right.
Okay. And then you are going to adjust these. So this is just laying it out to get an idea of how it's could look. And then we can shift them around before we actually glue them down. Okay. So don't worry too much. All right. So now we've got, this one is going to go over both of these and be about 3/8 of an inch from this edge. And you can see this piece right here looks a little bit odd because because you are going to have a smaller gap than we have on our actual frame. But by using one of the squares from our embellishment pack, we kind of cut that down and make it look a little bit more like the frame, the actual frame. This one is extra. Looking at this frame, it actually is a piece that would go down here.
That's pretty.
So if you want to add that in, you can certainly do that. You would just adjust this one up a bit, and then it would fit right down here. But I decided that I didn't need that extra piece. I would rather just have the background showing. So if you need that for journaling because you want to fill up all your other spaces with other things, then that would be where you would add that smaller 3 by 3.5 piece.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm not going to do that for now, but we're just going to go with what we've got here. Okay, so let me grab my adhesive. Where'd it go? And we're going to start by putting down this top piece right here. And it's just going to go, again, about 3/8 of an inch from the top and about 1 3/8 inch from the right side of the paper. Then this one is going to go about 3/8 of an inch. And the measurement from the bottom is about 2 inches. So if that helps you in aligning everything, it's about 2 inches from the bottom and about 3/8 of an inch from this left edge, roughly. And you'll have it in the right spot for what I did. Again, if you want to adjust it somehow so that you can fit in that smaller frame down here, you can definitely do that. No worries. All right, I stuck this down and I need to sneak this guy underneath it. So
I love the multi-purpose tool for that.
oh, I do too. It's my best friend quite often. All right, so about 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch from the bottom, and only 1/4 of an inch in on underneath this piece. And then this one is going to overlap the top piece and overlap the side piece so that you have, let's see, roughly 3/8 of an inch over here as well. All right. Now to use this piece and make the sun that we have up here in the corner, you're only going to need a portion of it. Can you see how it fits just right in there, and you can adjust it accordingly?
Yes.
When you trim this, you're going to trim it just one elliptical element beyond what you can see, and that way your design, you won't have anything looking odd in your design no matter how you put it in there with your adhesive. Okay, so grab your scissors now that you can see it here.
And I love that you save some of that for another project.
Yes, you can use it again for a different peekaboo type of a sun project.
Yes.
So you can make it, use it another time for sure. This one has these little tiny yellow polka dots on the back, which I found to be, they kind of get lost. But if you like it better, you can certainly use it. On this embellishment that I chose, it has the same yellow polka dots. So I'm getting that effect on this piece, and I chose the darker one for the outside. There we go. So let me just measure this again. So I want to cut it here, and I'm just going to, it doesn't really matter how you cut it, but you just need to separate it from the base. And if you're careful the way you cut it, then you might be able to preserve more of a shape for your whatever other project you might want to use it for. Okay, so this piece we're going to save for another day. And this piece is going to go right in there. Use your repositionable adhesive so that you cannot see it and you don't have to worry about those holes. And then we're going to just jump or tuck it right underneath each of these mats that we've already got down here, so you don't see those cut areas. There we go. Okay, so then we have our beautiful like sunburst. It reminds me of a sun. I think it's supposed to be more of a flower, but it reminds me of a sun. All right, in your embellishment pack, you're going to find all the other little elements that we need to add to this page. So open up your embellishment pack. And you can
so far, Kim, Gina said how much she loves it.
Oh, nice. Thank you, Gina. So we have lots of really cute things in the embellishment pack that you can choose from, and you can You can choose whichever you like. If you like these lemons, you could put the lemons in your squares, or whatever you choose. I chose these two last time, this rounded one with the dots and the sun that I put in the center. The sun is popped up on a foam square, so there's a little bit of dimension there. And I did tuck it underneath so that it's peeking out like that. Okay.
So cute.
So if you like that and you want to, duplicate that, that's how that was done. Or there is this other rounded element, which is a slightly different color, which would pick up the bluish hues in the frame on the opposite side of the page. So that one could be good. I love this sunshine and smiles. And I love all the citrus slices, which I used here in the center. And I took one of the whole ones and the half of the other of the opposite color. So a lemon with a lime on each, and decided which one I liked better to embellish. So there is those also for the center. So you can choose whichever one of these squares you like, the Good Life, Here Comes the Sun, or You're My Main Squeeze. And then that fits right in here and is perfect for giving you that frame feeling in the middle here to match the frame that's on the other side.
Fits perfectly.
Okay, so then this piece, this side, you will just decide which way you want your frame to go. And because of the flow of this, I have this on this side.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually turned mine. Let's see, I have this flipped to the opposite side this time around. So maybe, it just depends on which side of this you want to use. But you still get a flow of the eye coming across.
Yes.
And then you could use maybe the round one, You Make Life Sweeter, depending on what your photos are that you're going to use on this. And then where did those go? There they are. My other lemon and lime, come here, would go on the outer side like that.
Very nice.
So relatively quick and easy, and it's just a fun way of balancing this large frame. And then you can look at all the photos you can get on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 photos, or possibly 8 photos if you wanted to use one of these boxes as a journal box. Or if you included this other mat on here, then you could, journal on both pages, or, there's just lots of different options, but a fun way of using our laser cut embellishments.
All right.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
I think that works for me. What have you got for us, Catherine?
Okay, let me get things switched over a little bit here. All right. Okay, take my self off. I'm going to put Kim in the corner. Can we still hear you, Kim?
Can you hear me? I'm right here.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Okay.
Just since we had so many technical difficulties earlier, I want to make sure I didn't lose you.
I know. I know. I appreciate it.
Yep.
I'll leave my project up here so you know I'm still here.
Okay. Well, I see your hand too. And you'll talk to me. So I am going to be using the same paper pack that Kim did, our accessory paper pack that came with our National Scrapbook Day 2023 collection. I'm so not used to hearing myself talk in my ear. So bear with me here.
No worries.
I've pulled out a piece of our tangerine cardstock because I thought it was fitting with this collection.
Mm-hmm.
And I pulled out, hang on, let me reduce my light. It's just a little bit too bright here. Here we go. It's the one with the little, I don't know, they're almost like aqua suns on it. It has the lemons and limes on the back. And I also, you're going to get to see what I'm actually making a little bit here. I pulled out the same sheet Kim did with the lemons, the aqua lemons on it that had the yellow sunshines on the back. And we are going to make a citrus slice out of this. And I went ahead and started punching because otherwise y'all are going to be watching me punch for 10 minutes, which is no fun. But I've grabbed our citrus slice border maker cartridge and I put it into the housing. And then I've just started going around my circle, which I cut with our jumbo circle using our custom cutting system, blue blade on the outside. So I took the sheet of paper, put our circle on, centered it, cut it around the outside with the blue blade, and I got my circle, and then I started punching. And I'm actually going to stand up here so I can get closer to my camera so y'all can see where I'm going to put this actual punch on here, because going around there's like a little nub which you can see I kind of do have a little bit here that we're going to be cutting off in just a little bit. And we're going to put in our punch so you can see the arch of the paper, but you want this little diagonal nub to be
Catherine,
underneath the
hold
housing.
it,
Yes.
hold it a little closer to you because you're actually off camera when you're
Okay.
showing that part.
Thank you.
You can't see it.
All right.
There you go.
Yep, I'm moving around too much, I think.
That's okay.
Okay. Let's see here. Where's that nub? Get that
And
under the
then
camera. Am I better
maybe tip it
angling so the light
forward.
catches it? Hang on, I'm going to turn the light back up. Here we go. And then, of course, it's going to have to focus again. But I want to get enough light in here so you all can see it. There's that little nub. And am I on the camera? Yes. Okay. So you can see where I have my other punched out piece. I'm going to come over a little bit to try to get a little bit better on the camera. There's that little angle. And then I'm going to go towards the top, following the angles of the citrus. And let's see, angle a little bit more. I just dropped my paper because I had it lined up where I could see it, but I want you all to be able to see it too. This is not so easy. Here we go. Okay. Well, it isn't to get the light into it and to get it lined up just right. Here we go.
Show them.
So I feel like I keep moving around. There we go. So we're following those two angles, and I'm just going to punch using this as if it was just a freestanding punch. There, I went a little bit wider this time. I like going a little bit closer, but we should be able to get two more punches off of this. Maybe it actually would be easier if I flipped my paper and showed you the yellow side. That might actually be better. So let me get this lined up and then I'll hold it closer again. Does it seem easier to see the yellow?
A little bit, yep. A little less shadowy.
I mean, I do have my light up.
So you're looking for in the upper left-hand corner of her punch where you can see the voids in the punch.
Mm-hmm.
That upper left-hand corner is where she's connecting it to the previous punch.
Yep, but I'm actually going over just a hair.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm following the angle of the top point of the citrus. Here we go. Oh, I went a little too close that time. Goodness gracious. I'm not used to working in the air.
We'll cover that. It'll be fine.
Yep, it's okay. But then here we go. Here's the last one. My earbud just fell out. Hang on. Technical difficulties on my end now. Here we go. Okay, that's back in. This is lined back up and centered. Here we go.
Cool.
So there's that. Last one. Whew. Okay.
Some of that is just trying it on a scrap piece of paper, because each punch is a little bit different when you go to punch it around a circle like that.
Yep.
But this one is very cute done that way. It looks really cute that way.
Thank you. It did. I feel like those 3 punches took me longer than the rest of it to do.
I know.
So I'm glad I went ahead and did most of it. All right, there we go. Let me get the glare off. Okay, because I turned my light up way up to get so close to the camera there. So I'm just going to grab my microtip scissors. And we're just going to cut these little bits out. Real quick here. Going along each side, and then I will hold this up. That one just pulled out. But yeah, some I got a little closer, some I got a little further. But with doing the blue blade, it wound up where it was a nice circle of citrus slices. And we're actually going to turn it into a citrus slice.
Yep.
So just one more, I think. Here we go. Okay. Put my scissors down, get rid of some confetti, and I'm going to pull back out my mat. Put my little grippy under it so it doesn't slide around. And get back out my jumbo circle. So now I'm going to pull back out that paper that had the lemons and limes on the back. We're going to center our jumbo circle again, ish, because we're going to use the inside. Let me make sure I get the right blades here. Hang on. Green and then red. So we are using all the blades that come with the custom cutting system.
I love it. That's
Yep.
good.
Well, what's the point if you don't use them? Okay. So you want to make sure you do have space on one end at least, because we need to cut some sections for our citrus slice. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the green first, because that goes further from our template, and then the red because it goes closer. And this is what's actually going to create part of our slice. So try not to move your circle in between.
So you're making a ring.
We are making a 1/8 of an inch ring is what you get. Yep. And then this other part you can use as a frame on a page. You can use this and cut it in half and use it to decorate your page or as a design element on your pages. Don't let those waste. You really want to use those. And then we're going to cut 4 strips at 1/8 of an inch to do our sections. Oops, my ring was getting caught in my cord from my headphones. So I've already cut 3. And when you're cutting 1/8 of an inch on our trimmer, it's going from one dotted line to the next. So you just line up your paper at this second dotted line to the right, because this is 1/4 of an inch at the end of the gray mat. The 1/8 of an inch is tricky. But we just want a thin piece.
That's a very thin piece.
Yep. Here we go. Okay. So move that to the side. I'm going to pull back in my citrus ring, put aside my trimmer. And put aside my cutting mat as well. And here we go. So here is our tangerine cardstock for the base. We're going to add our base of our slice. I grab my parchment board so I can use my repositionable tape to get this down on here. You just have to make sure you see where you started.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Other pieces.
Sometimes that can be tricky.
Yep. There we go. Just look for the shine a little bit. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to use a little bit of my regular tape for the middle part, just because it's easier and it'll hold it down well. We will need the parchment board again. If you all haven't seen my parchment board before, I use electrical tape to hold the parchment onto a sturdy piece of cardboard, and the electrical tape stays on the back even though it's ugly. We're not cooking with it, and then that way you don't have staples catching some of the tape or anything.
Good idea.
Thank you very much. I think you can also use Band-Aids, but
I would never have thought of using Band-Aids. That's interesting.
I Googled it and I had electrical tape and it worked. So that's what I've stuck with.
Very nice.
Okay, so here's our slice on our page. I'm going to grab my circle and put this down first. And then I'm also going to use my multi-purpose tool because as we put our sections in, we're going to need it. But first things first, we need to get our circle down. And again, I'm just looking for my dots again here as I'm turning. There we go. All right. So I just thought we're creating our own type of citrus here with the aqua, but I just thought it was so pretty. We could have used the other side of the paper with the lemon and lime, but like you, I thought the aqua side was really pretty.
Mm-hmm. That's tricky, a little fiddly with that.
Yep, my tape is starting to stick a little bit. So you just need to work with it a little bit to get it so it'll lay flat.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. I've got one bump. There we go. Okay. And then you can just run your finger around it and get rid of any extra repositionable tape that might be showing. And now we have our 4 little strips, and I'm going to show you real quick. We could cut these down, but actually what I'm going to do is place them and then cut them because it's just easier. So let me run some tape through here. Flip all these over. There we go. At least we know it's the green side.
Mm-hmm.
And
do you have to worry about, making sure that it's exactly centered or exactly measured, or or is this more of an abstract kind of, it could be anything because
okay,
some citrus slices are thicker than others.
Right, exactly. Nature is not perfect, and neither am I. So
okay, it works.
Yep, for me, the abstract is the way to go. And we'll just actually run this under here. We'll have this one end disappear under this end. We'll start here, run this end. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and snip it, and then I'll tuck it under. There we go. Grab my multi-purpose tool. And that's why I said these are really handy. Just take and go. There we go.
There you go.
So there's our first marking.
Very good.
Thank you. And then I'm going to kind of, like I said, nature isn't perfect. So let's just go where it looks good. And then we'll fill in our other pieces here. Lift this up a little bit. Oops, sorry about that. That was kind of loud. There we go. Going across. We're going to give it a snip again.
Now, would you cut your photos to fit in the different little wedges, or what would you recommend doing?
You know, you could. I also was thinking you actually could put your photos down before you put these sections on and have them kind of like underneath, where the citrus piece is, or you can place them on top as well. You can make it a cover page and then just have a larger photo that's going to cover the center of most of this.
True.
So there's definitely several photo options with this layout. Oops. Apparently I didn't get enough tape at the end. So I'm just going to try that. You work with what you need to do.
Yep.
Tuck you back under. There we go. Now this end is coming in. There we go. I'm trying not to cover this up as I'm doing this. It's hard. I tend to use both hands a lot.
I understand.
Yep. There we go. Tucking that under again. And one more. So this is our fourth one coming in. Going under. Actually, I think I'm going to go under this end because I think it might be easier for y'all to see me cut it at the top. And you can see I'm just kind of putting these so where it almost looks like slices of a pie. You could easily do a pie this way too and get one of our other punches and do a really nice ruffled edge on it. So here we go. I'm cutting about halfway, not quite all the way through our circle here. And there we go. There is our citrus slice. And I figure, this is the rind. This is kind of a little extra foof. And this is our actual section. And then I have some of our embellishments ready to go from the embellishment pack. And one of the things I also love about our embellishment pack is you can always use the packaging essentially where they have it, the label showing it's the National Scrapbook Day 2023. You can use the sunshine on one of your pages. I love that.
Very, very cute.
Yep, I love it. So we're going to go with sunshines and smiles up here with some foam squares. And I also have some of those lemons and limes in the slices as well. The hardest part about foam squares is getting the backing off and not sticking to your fingers.
Yeah.
I love them, but man, sometimes it's hard. Okay. So we're going to pop up the ones I'm going to put on the top here. We're going to bring these in from the side, and I'm going to use repositionable tape on the slices on the bottom. And I'm putting the opposite of what I'm putting at the top on the bottom. So that way we kind of have the corners highlighting here. And using the curve, grab another foam square. I'm going to use a couple small ones. We have a quiet group watching today. There's not too much going on in the chat box today.
Nope, not very much.
We'll have to...
That either means we're explaining things really, really well, so they don't have any questions, or
you're just quietly watching.
Just working along with you and not needing to ask questions. So
yep. Okay. So I'm cutting one of my small foam squares on the diagonal to fit this little leaf better. Here we go. And I just cut through the paper using my microtip scissors, which I love because they have that special coating and nothing sticks to them.
And they're very sharp.
That they are. They're awesome. One of my favorite pair of scissors. Okay.
Very
Well,
nice.
there we go. I will hold it up so everybody can see our citrus slice.
That
And
looks
I
great.
love it. I'm from Florida. I love the tangerine. I love the aqua. It's not your traditional citrus slice, but it works.
Yep. Yep. Definitely
Okay.
does. It's very cute.
Thank you.
You're
Let me,
welcome.
all right, let's get things wrapped up here. Let me change our camera views. Hang on. My earpiece came out again. Oy. Rough morning for that.
I was thinking I ought to mention, because I didn't when I was doing my presentation, and it reminded me when you got out your foam squares, these half slices that I have on the center are also popped up just to give some added dimension, and I don't think I mentioned that before. So.
You didn't, so I'm very glad you did now. That's
Not
awesome.
the large slice is flush with the page, but the half slice is what is raised.
And I did the opposite.
Yeah.
My slices are flat, my holes are popped up.
That's okay. You can do it
Yep,
however you like. So,
absolutely. It's the joy of scrapbooking.
yeah.
Well, let's wrap it up. We hope you
All right.
inspired you all to try out the National Scrapbook Day 2023 collection. And love that Kim introduced our laser papers because I haven't worked a whole lot with those either. So we appreciate that.
No
And
worries.
yes,
Hope everybody gets involved and goes and supports their people with the National Scrapbook Day. Support
your
your local
advisor.
advisor and go
Mhm.
and enjoy her event. It'll be fun.
Absolutely. And we hope you all join us for our next pop up crop. I did put links to both Kim and my channel where you can keep an eye out for the next one. Hopefully, Kim and I will be together again. Right,
Yeah.
Kim?
Yep. Absolutely.
All right.
That'll be
And
fun.
maybe you'll get to see her face next
Right.
time.
Maybe we'll hopefully my sweet husband and his IT, he's very good at that stuff, and so it's frustrating for him when the electronics don't do their job.
Right. And, and that's
So, but next
okay.
time we'll have it all worked out, and
There we go.
it'll
Hopefully, we can even maybe have a scrapbooking Q&A sometime
yeah,
and answer questions, and
that would
we'll
be
just need
good.
to get a few more people watching. So, until next time.
No, yep. We'll see you next time. Squeeze the day, ladies.